Hey everybody, it's me, Ms. Schwartz. So for this week's project, we are going to take a break from color theory. We've been talking a lot about color, complementary colors, Roy G. Biv colors, warm colors, cool colors, too much color. So this week we are going to not do a project that has to do with color. Rather, we are going to do a project that has to do with perspective. And what perspective basically means is how people see things. Like when you say, well, from my perspective, what you're saying is the way I see things, like literally like your perspective, you know, the way you're, what you see right in front of your eyes. So as you know, fall's here, and you have seen pumpkins everywhere. You've seen them in commercials, you've seen them in maybe on, you know, your porch or your neighbor's porch. Maybe you've seen them at the grocery store. Pumpkins are abundant this time of year. So what we're going to be doing is we are going to be drawing pumpkin patches. But these are going to be 1-point perspective pumpkin patches. And let me talk to you about what 1-point perspective is. Pretend you're standing at the end of a very long hallway. So you're standing at one end and you look straight down. Do you notice how at the other end of the hall, everything looks really, really, really tiny? Like things keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until they just kind of come together like that. That is what's known as 1-point perspective. So if you look at the piece of paper. Well, wait a minute, let me go back. Here are some examples of 1-point perspective. Here is one example of what a 1-point perspective drawing looks like. You see how it's as if you're staring straight down, or rather straight in front of you, and everything just kind of goes like phew, like that. Here's another example. Here's another example. So those are just some examples. Let me show you how to draw a 1-point perspective pumpkin patch. So as you can see, let me first let me draw my horizon line. Okay, let me see if I can, there we go, there we go. So your horizon line, this is the line where the sky ends and the earth begins. And down here, this is going to be your pumpkin patch. So you draw your line, and you can use a ruler to draw your line. You can also use anything with a straight edge. For example, I've got this box of colored pencils. I can use that as my straight edge to give me a nice straight line. Totally up to you, whatever you got. And you are going to find the middle. Too far. Ah, there's my middle. And I'm just going to put a little tiny line. Little tiny dot. This is called my midpoint because it's in the middle of the line and it's a point. So we have our horizon line. We have our midpoint right there. So what you're going to do, and again, you're going to need a ruler or a straight edge or whatever. So I misplaced my ruler today. Way to go, Miss S. So I am just going to wing it here, and I am going to, well, let's see if I have a ruler in my desk drawer. Of course I don't. Let's see if I have a ruler in my other desk drawer. Okay, somebody has been taking my rulers. I don't like this, but whatever. Anyway, so I am going to draw a diagonal line starting at my midpoint. I'm going to draw a diagonal line down like this, like that. And oh, by the way, the best part about this project is you can do this in pencil, okay? So you don't need markers or paints or crayons or any of that. You just do it in pencil. Then you're going to draw a line straight down from the midpoint to the bottom of the page. And then you're going to do it again. So it almost looks like you drew a tent. You have a triangle down here, and you have a line dividing it into two smaller triangles. So you have your horizon line, you got your midpoint, you got your one diagonal line, you have one straight line, and you have another diagonal line. Now, this is the fun part. This is where we get to start drawing the pumpkins. So you notice how things are very wide down here. The space is very wide, and it gets a little narrower and a little narrower and a little narrower till it's very, very small. Well, since this is so wide down here, we're going to make our pumpkins wide. So I'm going to draw a pumpkin, and a pumpkin, you could just draw a big circle if you want. You can draw a big oval if you want, or you can kind of give your pumpkin some dimension by making them look like little clouds. I'm going to give it a little face. You can color these in if you're able to. If you aren't, that's fine. I'm going to give it some vines. Okay, so I'm going to do it again over here. This time I'm just going to draw an oval, which is something you can also do. And your lines do not have to be perfectly straight. As long as you try to make them straight-ish, that works too. So, because I know some of you are going to be drawing these on Seesaw. And Seesaw, you don't really have an option of using a ruler. So anyway, so I have my nice big pumpkins down here, but it keeps getting a little more narrow. That means I'm going to have to make my pumpkin a little smaller. Actually, I don't like the pumpkin, so I can erase it just a skosh better. Okay, so do you see how the pumpkins are starting to get smaller as the space gets narrower? And now I'm going to draw an even smaller pumpkin. Okay, now I'm going to draw an even smaller pumpkin. So does it look like you're standing at the edge of a pumpkin field and you're seeing the pumpkins just get smaller and smaller because you're staring straight ahead? This is what's known as one-point perspective. And so this is the earth, this is the sky. So if you want to, you can add a sun. And over here, you can add some more small pumpkins up here. So you almost have a row of small pumpkins, and then they can get a little bigger. And And down here, I'm just going to draw part of a big pumpkin. Okay, I'm not going to add faces. But does it look like you're just staring straight off into the horizon, and the pumpkins, as you know, are getting smaller and smaller and smaller? When they're up close to you, right here, they're going to look big. But the farther away, the smaller the farther away they get, rather, the smaller they are going to appear. So you can add color. If you don't have color, you can just leave it as a drawing. That's perfectly fine. And remember, if you're having any problems with this drawing, please reach out to me. My Google Voice number is 816-482-9743. My email address is kschwarz@kcpublicschools.org. I miss you guys so much. I hope you have a lot of fun making this project. I want to give a shout out to my students. You know who you are, who have turned in all their work. Looking at your beautiful artwork really makes my heart sing. So anyway, I just want to wish you a wonderful day, and I can't wait to see your work. Bye.